فلاح يا فتاح صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم الأمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, it's a great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given me and you the ability and tawfiq to participate in this gathering. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this gathering a source of guidance for all of us. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this gathering one of the means of our entry into Jannah. Inshallah, tonight we will try to understand some of the fadail, some of the ahkam, and some of the adab of Aitekaaf. As you all brothers know that tonight is the 20th night of the month of Ramadan. And those of you brothers who want to sit in Aitekaaf, inshallah, the time that Aitekaaf will start is from tomorrow night. So tonight is the only opportunity that I can talk about some of the fadail of Aitekaaf. Inshallah, I will try to keep it really short. And inshallah, we will go over all of these things. And I will try to put it in a way that we all can understand. And we all can relate. Because all of us are here in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the intention of Aitekaaf. I would suggest all of you brothers, when you walk into the masjid, when you walk into the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make the intention of Aitekaaf. It doesn't matter if you're staying in the masjid for 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute. Whenever you come into the masjid, make the intention that you are in Aitekaaf. So make that intention. So inshallah we will try to understand what Aitekaaf is. So ta'reef al-i'tikaf, the definition of Aitekaaf. Ulama have said that Aitekaaf means luzumul masjidi bi niyyatil makhsusa. That you stay in a masjid for a certain purpose. Why are you in a masjid? Are you in a masjid because you were invited for a wedding? Is there a walima party taking place? Is there a gathering taking place? A ilmi halaqah is taking place that you came here to attend that ilmi halaqah? What is the purpose? Why are you staying in the masjid? So the purpose of staying in the masjid should be the purpose of Aitekaaf. Now let's understand what is the purpose of Aitekaaf. Because we are not here in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we want to get away from our families. Or there are too many siblings at home. So that's why we are coming to the mosque. No, that's not the reason. And especially whenever you leave your house, you want to achieve something. MashaAllah, you came here, you left the comfort of your house. You left the comfort of your bed. You left the comfort of your family. And you are sitting in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So obviously you want to achieve something. Even generally speaking, whenever we leave our house for a certain reason, for a certain purpose. So for example, every single day, alhamdulillah, all of us, we leave our house. Some of us, we leave our house in the morning for making money. So we are working really hard throughout the entire week. Why? Because we are expecting to get paid at the end of the week. And the children, they leave their house in the morning so that they can go to school. Youngsters, they leave their house in the morning so that they can go to university. Now they are going to university and leaving their house. What is the purpose? What is the reason? So that they can finish their studies. Now mashallah, most of you go to a university and you spend 3, 4, 5 years in a university. Some of you mashallah spend 7 years, 10 years in a university. Why? What's the reason? Why are you working so hard? When you finish your degree, when you finish your studies, what are you expecting to get out of it? What is the reason? You are expecting a good job. You are expecting a good salary. You are expecting a good lifestyle. That's why you're working so hard. You are studying and you are suffering and you are struggling and you are staying up every single night. And you are doing all of your paperwork. You are doing all of your assignments. You are attending every single class. You are asking questions about the things that you don't know. And you are writing extra papers. You are doing extra research. And you are eager to improve. And you want to maintain a certain average. Why? What's the reason? Why are you struggling so much? Why are you working hard? So that at the end of the day, you can get your degree. So if you get your degree, then what? Then I will get a good job. If I get a good job, I will get a good salary. If I get a good salary, then I will have a good lifestyle. So there is a purpose for everything. Now, alhamdulillah, you and I, we are sitting in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan. What is the purpose? What we want to get out of this sunnah of Aitekaaf? What are some of the fruits that we are expecting to get out of the sunnah of Aitekaaf? Inshallah, this is what we're going to understand, inshallah. But before I say anything, all of us Muslims, what we need to understand is that all the ibadat, all the major obligations, and if you allow me to ask you, major obligations belong to which circle?
Second circle.
Second circle, alhamdulillah. All of these major obligations, they are sirrum min asrarillah. They are a secret from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You do these ibadat but you don't really know why you are doing it. Not always you know why you are doing it. So let me give you an example. In every salah, in every rakat, how many sajdas do you do? Two. Why not one? Why not 5? Why not 6? What's the reason? No one knows, right? If you read your salah, and in your salah you read the whole Quran, 113 surahs of the Quran, but you skip just one surah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Just skip that one surah. Will your salah be valid?
No.
No. And you just read one surah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, 7 ayat, and you skip the whole Quran, and your salah is perfect. Why? Do you know the reason? We don't. It's sirrum min asrarillah. It's a secret. We don't know the reason. That's why we call ourselves slaves of Allah. That's why we say that the purpose of our existence, the purpose of our creation is to worship Allah. Alhamdulillah, most of you brothers know the first few ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah. And in the first few ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Mu'mineen are those, believers are those who believe in unseen. What does it mean, who believe in unseen? That they are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not knowing any reason other than that they are slaves of Allah and they want to please Allah. They are following the rules of Allah, the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So no matter how much I try to give you a proof, to give you a rational, to give you a logic behind the sunnah of Aitekaaf, the most strong reason of doing Aitekaaf is to please Allah. That's it. We do Aitekaaf, we sit in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we are the slaves of Allah and we want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do we understand this so far? But having said that, inshallah, I will still give you a logical reason behind Aitekaaf, behind the sunnah of Aitekaaf. That why do we perform this obligation? So you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this heart, the qalb. This is the center of our body. All of our ibadah, they are settled where? In our heart. And our heart nourishes the rest of our body. It's like a zamzam for our body. Do we all know zamzam? It's like a zamzam for our body. It nourishes our body. So our eyes are controlled by our heart. Our tongue is controlled by our heart. Our entire body is controlled by our heart. That's why Prophet ﷺ said, Allah, understand this carefully. Allah, understand it. Inna fil jasadi mudghatu. In your body there is a piece of flesh. There is a little piece of flesh in your body. In saluhat, saluhal jasadu kulluhu. If it stays fine, if it stays healthy, if it stays good, if it stays perfect, then your entire body will remain perfect. All you have to worry about is this little thing. If it is sound, then everything else is sound. Alhamdulillah. But then he said, وَإِن فَسَدَ فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ. But if it goes bad, if it dies, if it is spoiled, if it is rotten, then your entire body will become useless. Your entire body will become useless. Now there are certain things that will spoil our heart. There are certain things. I will only mention 5, inshallah, and then we finish. There are 5 things that can spoil your heart. Number 1, al-mata'im. The things that we eat. You know, the things that we eat, they can spoil our heart. So I don't know about you people, when I go back to Pakistan, the only entertainment that I have with my friend is that we go out and eat. So we get together and then we go out and eat. And then again we drive around and then we go out and eat again. And then we say to each other, let's go out and eat again. So we take few turns and then again we go out and eat. So we start from food, then we go for drinks, and then we go for sweet. And then after 24 hours, we come back home and we eat again. So that's what we do. So eating can distract your heart. Number 1. Number 2, al-masharib, the things that you drink. So alhamdulillah, nowadays we do iftar every single day, right? And when we do iftar, we have Coke, we have Pepsi, or should I say Pepsi, and we have iron brew, and we have grapefruit, and all of these kinds of fruit in front of us. We cannot consume all of them, but for some strange reason, all of us want to have 19 different kind of juices in front of us while we are doing iftar. Or at least all of us, we want to have more than one drink in front of us. You invite a person to your home for iftar, and if your wife serves you one kind of drink, what do you say to your wife? It's an aib, astaghfirullah, kabira guna, a major sin. At least give us 3-4 kinds of food, 3-4 different kinds of drinks. We cannot consume all of that, but for some reason, for some strange reason, we are concerned because of it. We are occupied, our heart is occupied because of it. So this can distract our heart. Number 3. So number 1 was al-mata'im, the things that we eat. Number 2 was the things that we drink. And number 3, al-manakih, women. So if you are married, then you are always complaining about your wife. Especially, we people from Pakistan, I cannot say about everyone, but we, especially Kashmiri people, we can't praise our wives. Our ribs hurt when we praise our wives. So even if we say something good about our wife, we have to follow it up with something really bad. So you go back home and you eat your food and the food is really good. And you tell your wife, Begum, aaj khana to bada maze ka hai. The food is really delicious tonight, but I still hate your mother. I still hate your mother. You have to follow it up with something bad, right? So if you are married, then you are always complaining about your wife. And if you are not married, then you are always thinking about your dream wife. So al-manakih, women can distract your heart. Number 3, fudul al-kalam, excess of talking. We love to chit-chat. We love to talk. We go to the kitchen and we talk. We go to the living room and we talk. We go to the library and we talk. We talk everywhere. And it's not like we are talking about good stuff. It's not like we are comparing notes and we are saying, okay, I have memorized this surah, can you listen to my surah? I have memorized 40 hadiths, can you listen to my hadith? Test me. Give me a hadith and I will recite it for you. Give me the first part of the hadith and I will complete it for you. Ask me who narrated that hadith and I will tell you the narrator of that hadith. No, we're not talking about that stuff. We are backbiting, we are slandering, we are talking bad about each other. It's fudulul kalam. Your heart can be distracted by this kind of talk. And number 5, finally, fudulul nawm. Some of us, we love to sleep. We literally love to sleep. I always mention this example. I remember 4 years ago, I still remember, a brother came up to me and said, Mulana, in the month of Ramadan, Mulana, last night was really a tough night. I said, Chaya, how long did you sleep? Don't ask me, Mulana. Really tough night. I came back home late at night, and then I had to do this, and I had to do that, and then finally I went to bed, and my mother woke me up really early in the morning. Achaya, how long did you sleep? Tell me. Mulana, I just slept for 8 hours. I just slept for 8 hours. Are you making business out of your sleep? Don't tell me it was not enough sleep. What do you want? You want to sleep for 24 hours? So excess of sleeping can distract your heart. Now when you sit in Aitekaaf, so we know these 5 things, alhamdulillah. When you sit in Aitekaaf, all of these 5 things that can distract your heart, they all are challenged in Aitekaaf. You cannot sleep in Aitekaaf as much as you want to. You cannot eat, you cannot drink, you cannot talk. You cannot have any kind of relationship with your wife in Aitekaaf. So in Aitekaaf, you are challenging all of these 5 things that can distract your heart. You are cutting them down. Don't eat too much, don't sleep too much, don't talk too much. Only enough that can take you to the next stage. So you are protecting your heart. And you are also fasting, by the way. So when you fast, you limit the movement of shaitan, right? Am I right or wrong? You limit the movement. That's what Prophet ﷺ said. And he suggested to all the young brothers and sisters that if you cannot control your desire and you want to guard your modesty and shame, then you should fast. Because this will limit the movement of shaitan. And on top of that, alhamdulillah, you are doing Aitekaaf. So just imagine, you are narrowing down all the venues through which shaitan can enter in your heart and spoil your heart. So you are protecting your heart when you are sitting in Aitekaaf. And that's why we do Aitekaaf. One last thing and then I finish. Allama Zuhri rahmatullah alayhi. Some of you brothers probably know this Allama. Allama Zuhri from Tabi'een, from the 3rd generation of the Muslims. He is an alim who didn't see our lifestyle, right? He's from the 3rd generation of the Muslims. He didn't see our lifestyle, right? And at his time, if he delivers a lecture, thousands of people will come into the mosque and listen to his lecture. And at his time, if you're looking for one scholar in one area, you will find thousands of scholars instead of one. This was the best time for Islam. And he is saying to his people that, أَعْجَبًا لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ, it surprises me, it amazes me that you have left the sunnah of Aitekaaf. Can you imagine the best of the nation? And most of them, they are doing Aitekaaf. Some of them are not doing Aitekaaf. And he's saying to them that it amazes me that you are leaving the sunnah of Aitekaaf. Despite of the fact that Prophet ﷺ, when he migrated to Medina, there was not even a single year when he didn't do Aitekaaf. Every single year, Prophet ﷺ performed Aitekaaf. So I would suggest all of you brothers, recommend all of you brothers. Probably you are thinking 10 days and 10 nights. It's a big commitment. It's a huge commitment. I can't take 10 days out of my work. I'm not ready for it. Yeah, if you cannot do for 10 days and 10 nights, make an intention for few nights. It's starting from tomorrow, make an intention for a weekend. Just make an intention for a weekend. 2 nights, right? And there is a principle in our Islam. If you cannot fulfill the whole obligation, then you fulfill the part of that obligation. Don't give up that part of that obligation or the portion of that obligation. So this month of Ramadan, alhamdulillah, we all make, including myself, all of us, let's make intention of doing Aitekaaf, inshallah. If we cannot do it for 10 nights, let's do it for some nights, for a few nights, inshallah. And we try to do it, inshallah, we will try to gain the closeness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So are we ready for this, inshallah?
Inshallah.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala